Hello and welcome back to Fecal Matters, a podcast where we talk about dumb shit. I, of course, am your host, JLock TV. And over on my right here is the incredible wiener slinger, the owner of the
The
Coney
gl-
Corner himself, the glizzy goddess, Skittles.
the president of the Hot Wiener Club.
I don't know if
That
you're
that
the.
is actually that's what actually my TikTok name is, the president of the Hot Wiener Club.
God damn it. The president of the Hot Wiener Club?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know if you've ever looked at wieners, man, but how can you call them hot?
Well, usually it's because I put them on a grill that's 400 degrees.
I'm just saying, have you ever looked at a wiener? Like, they're kind of veiny. Yeah, I've never looked
I
at
mean,
anything super veiny and been like, yeah, that. I
yours
want that
yours
in
just
my
looks
mouth.
like a deflated tennis ball, only because you showed it to me. You
My dick does not look like a deflated tennis ball. What the actual fuck? You dickhead.
Oh man.
So,
Look,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like maybe you shouldn't flash your junk to somebody trying to play League of Legends in your now stepmom's basement. I don't
Have you
know.
ever considered owning your own shit, motherfucker? How many years did you play on my shit before you got something for yourself?
Yeah. I ended up putting some computer viruses on that thing
Nah,
unintentionally.
you don't say. We're not going to go into
Don't worry,
how
it's
you
obsolete
managed that
now.
one. We're not going to go into how you managed to put that many viruses on one of my fucking computers. You sick bastard. Ooh, a link. Click. Ooh, a link. Click.
Hey, what's this link to?
Oh, no.
Flow Rida starts playing.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You spin me right round, baby, right round. No,
Yeah, we're
no, no. God damn it. Guys, welcome
oh
back again.
man.
This is Fecal Matters. It's been a fucking week for me. We shut down this last week for for March shutdown because we do our March maintenance every time around this time. But I swear to God, I worked more in 3 days than I have in the last 2 months, and it was a little upsetting. Just goddamn cut change after cut change, and then the cleanup. They kind of like decided to play me and stick me in a spot I've never cleaned before, so I had to do that all by myself. Fuck, I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm annoyed with my job for doing that shit to me.
Here's baking soda and a toothbrush. Get on the floor and do what you know how to do.
What? What's that even supposed to mean? Also, we definitely wouldn't use a toothbrush. They're pretty specific about, we're not even allowed to use like wire brushes.
Oh really?
Yeah, we're not allowed
Is
to
it
use
because
wire
it?
brushes in the facility. Well, because you risk it getting into the potato line.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes
I
sense.
mean, that'd be a hell of a thing for some kid to bite into a French fry at Zips or something and end up with a fucking piece of wire stuck in his gums.
I mean, I thought they just called that dentistry.
What? Scott, are you well? Are
No,
you are
I'm
you are
not.
you okay? Speaking
Oh man.
speaking of coaling the unhealthy, did you hear? Have you heard? So remember we reviewed some time back about the situation in Oklahoma where the governor of Oklahoma came under fire for talking about how he wanted to start having
Yep.
furries like pulled out of school by animal control.
Animal control. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was actually having a conversation with my mom just the other day, and she was telling me that here where I live, one of her friends actually pulled her kid out of the high school that he was going to permanently, like he's not going back because, and I quote, kids are shitting in litter boxes in the bathrooms.
Yeah. No, that's a hard pass for me.
Not just shitting in them, pissing in them too. Could you
Like here's
imagine? Okay, I just
look.
want you to imagine. First of all, we're not glazing over this, but we're moving into it a little further. I couldn't be paid enough as a janitor to clean a fucking human litter box.
No, absolutely not.
I mean,
Absolutely
dirty,
not.
dirty jobs as they were. Like, second of all, they're unigender bathrooms, so that means that you are actually walking in.
Oh no. 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 No.
That
No.
means you're
No.
actually
No.
like, I'm not. I'm just saying. You know,
Like
it might cure an overpopulation issue, really.
at that rate, just like go plant some trees on whatever property you got, and go let them go out there and fertilize the place, so you don't actually have to clean it up.
I'm just,
Like,
well, it's not even
be
just
smart
that.
about it.
Well, you know, the creation of the toilet was an important process that helped reduce, you know, plague.
Yeah, well, maybe we need another plague.
Well, you've heard me make this reference before that humans aren't really genetically all that far fetched from being just rats.
Yeah,
As
or
far as like our
monkeys.
diet goes, we're much closer to scavengers than we are a hunter or a gatherer. We're
Yeah,
scavengers. We collect things that are easy to reach and easy to consume. We don't actually do a whole hell of a lot of. If it wasn't for our overly complex brains, we don't do a whole lot functionally that makes us good at hunting. We don't do a whole lot functionally that makes us good at carrying large sums of things. Matter of fact, we have like the most awkward limbs ever.
yeah.
Even monkeys have tails, so they can free up their hands and never have to worry about operating anything with them. So like contextually, all I'm thinking is like there's a reason why we do what we do, and it's because we carry a lot of disease. We're as bad as any cat, but at least the
Well,
cat
except,
shit small.
yep. And cats actually are equipped to deal with whatever diseases that might be
Yeah,
lingering in their fecal matter.
I mean, we eat what we eat, and then we shit, and we bring disease with us everywhere. I mean, like it was bad.
Well, we are definitely staying true to the name of the podcast today.
Kids shitting in litter box. I do. I can't. I just can't with that. Like, that's that's
Nope.
something else, bro.
That's
That's
just look. For first, it was a certain movement. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it. Uh, the believing you're someone else, or I guess trans movement, whatever.
oh
I think
okay.
that's a good enough reason to pull your kid out of school.
I
Personally, that's my opinion.
I mean, I don't think that's something that should be involved with kids in the first place. Personally,
Yeah, no, that's why I said that's why you should take your kid out of school, because, and I actually got into, I made a comment on Facebook, and someone got really offended by my comment. By saying, if you actually remove your kid from a school where they're being pressured to be trans, they revert back to normal 99% of the time, which is true. You know, and someone got said, "What do you mean normal?" Like, well, I mean, not being convinced to chop off their genitalia.
right? I mean, like the unfortunate side of this is I'm not trying to be like really fucked up when I say this, but I just don't see any way for me to say it without it also still just being fucked up. But it's kind of a self-resolving issue.
It is, and it's just like what it seems like. What it seems like, and now this is all speculation. It seems like the uh the rainbow movement, the alphabet community, is not happy with just phasing themselves out of the equation. They must drag down as many
Oh
people
yeah.
as possible.
No, that's why you don't hear me getting like super uppity about it in the first place. Like, first of all, it doesn't affect me. I'm gonna be able to have kids on my own anyways, and I'm not gonna put them in public school systems where they can be exposed to these like newer politics that more or less like push things
Well,
on children. I'm not gonna give
well,
them that opportunity to have that.
well. I don't think you're even planning to have kids unless you're planning on adopting kids. I don't think
Um,
you're going to have your own kids.
maybe
Are you?
we might still have one of our own. We're still working through the whole getting a house of our own situation.
Yeah, because I mean, like 3 years ago, you were just definitely hard no. I'm not bringing any kids into this world.
I have a number of reasons for that that I'm not necessarily going to discuss that have started resolving themselves. So, but um, like yeah, as far as that goes, like I'm not gonna have to worry about all that because I'm not gonna expose my children to that.
Yeah.
But the important thing is like I just said, it's one of the things I can't bang on too hard because it's like I I have spent too much time telling people in my personal life and preaching the concept of Darwinism.
Yeah.
We have as a species we have forced Darwinism to fail. Darwinism does not work currently. because our medical field is so damn efficient. We just don't let things that would normally, when someone makes a mistake, we don't let them die.
Well, Darwinism is manifesting in other ways, though.
That's what I'm suggesting here. It's long-term Darwinism, but it's Darwinism.
Yeah. So we've corrected the problems of some of Darwinism, and it turned around and said, "Nah, no, no, you thought you did something."
That's kind of the irony.
That's where we start delving in so far into mental illness now.
Well, and
mental
illness, what I'm trying to say.
Suicide ideation, the people phasing themselves out of the reproductive pool, all of that.
Remember, you can't technically use the S word on Twitch. Anyways, but like,
oh well,
that's the thing about Darwinism, though, right? When it comes to trans ideology, and that's not me. Again, this isn't me like being anti-trans. I genuinely, if that's how you want to live your life, if that's what makes you happy and makes you comfortable with your own skin, that's cool. But like at the end of the day, those hormones and the surgery sterilize you. That's facts. It technically is if we assume it's a mental health issue, which genuinely speaking, by definition, the ideology all in itself is mental health issues. Not like a shot on people. This isn't me like going out here and calling people tards and stuff. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm simply saying is, from the beginning, what by definition a mental health issue is when you are mentally not sound with something that is normal for most people and for yourself. That's it. That's a mental health issue. I have mental health issues. Scott has mental health issues. A lot of people these days have mental health issues. It just doesn't always end up manifesting into something physical the way it does for trans people. It doesn't like I'm not going to go out and change myself because my autism says this is kind of the things that would be better for me. No, there's a part of me that's able to logic it out. Scott isn't going to go into a depressive episode and just unalive himself on a whim. He handles his depression better than that. I handle my autism a little bit better than that. I'm not going to come out here and logic everyone into a damn corner over it either. Just like I'm not going to like sit there and try to talk down trans people from being who they are. I would like them to get mental help. I really would. I really think there's a point where, if you're in your 20s and you're not comfortable in your skin, is it that you're trans or is it that you're uncomfortable with yourself? And that's as somebody that's had friends that are intersex, that I've been very supportive of their struggle with their own ideology and self actualizations that they are going through. So I'm not banging on any of it because it's not something that directly affects me, and I don't feel like it's important for me to do that. The only issues, of course, that I take are the way it works with kids. When people are like directly bringing kids into the situation, that's a problem. Because, like I've mentioned before on this podcast and probably on stream when I was streaming video games in the past, and people have brought up things like that, is when it comes down to it, when I was a kid, like toddler age, this is the reason it's important to me, because so many people are like putting trans ideology on toddlers even. When I was a toddler, shit, I wore a dress. Hell yeah, I wore a dress. You know how cool it was to wear a dress when you're a fucking little tiny boy? Guess what I wouldn't have done? Get old enough to wear a dress to school. Like, you only need to be corrected once or twice before you realize it's just kind of strange. And that's coming from, Scottish, Irish, Viking backgrounds where kilts are not that unusual. But it's a little different.
For me, it kind of like leads into the question of maybe it kind of leads into the whole Filthy Frank idea of people need to beat their kids more.
I mean, I agree. Not gonna lie, yeah, no, I agree. Beat your kids more.
Here's the thing: there's merit.
When I say beat, when I say beat, I mean punish. Just making sure that line is absolutely drawn in the sand ahead of time. I don't mean go out and just walk the fuck out of your children.
But if we were to play the Filthy Frank clip, it says people need to beat their effing kids,
or even just Cat Williams. Cat Williams used to say that shit too. Cat Williams used to be like, "Beat your damn kids." And it was a really important thought process in his book too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I'm recording
Um,
things because I'm
no, but
getting hit with a fucking lag spike. Anyways,
um, but there's merit to bullying. Bullying is not
God, that's
great,
such a tough
but
issue to put the word merit on.
here's the thing, especially in terms of like male dominated fields, bullying a is like
Okay,
90% a good thing.
I disagree with the term bullying.
Okay, hate.
Hazing, I
What
would
other
agree
word would
with.
you use?
Hazing, I would
Hazing.
agree with. Because hazing intrinsically, like, the problem with people when they use the term bullying is, in fact, an aggressive offense. It is, in fact, an aggressive offense, generally by somebody with a weaker mentality or low self esteem trying to punish somebody else for feeling better than them. Bullying doesn't intrinsically always fall on the weakest kid on the playground. Bullying often falls on people that are also popular, but you know, they make the other person feel ashamed to be themselves. It's not always that way. Hazing, on the other hand, hazing has always been kind of a rite of passage between men. It's
Yeah.
no different than me
So I
walking up to
guess
you when you're minding your own business and putting you in a fucking headlock, and you can't say I've never done that. God bless your heart. I
yeah,
have put you in so many fucking headlocks for fun. And it's
and
not something
the
that
thing
made
is,
you
like,
weaker.
you're
It
just
made you tougher.
yeah, you're just too big for me to get off. So
Phrasing. No, but like seriously though, it made you tougher. It made you learn to deal with that a little bit more. Like, did you love it the first time I did it? Fuck no. Did you like it the second? Fuck no. Did you care by the third? You're getting used to it by that point. 16,
it's
17
like
times
this is just gonna
later.
be a thing that happens.
Yeah, 16, 17 times later, I'm not hurting you. I'm being a little annoying to be sure, but it's not hurting you.
Well, well,
And it's no different than
well
you
that's
walking up and jabbing me in the fucking ribs every chance you got. You just get over it. Hazing is a rite of passage between men.
although if I ever poke you in the stomach ever again, you're gonna punch me as hard as you can
Only in the belly
because
button. There's something weird. There's something about you putting your finger into a hole on my body that's I find extremely offensive. But like,
that's right. You heard it here first. I put my finger in David's holes.
Jesus Christ. But like, all jokes aside, but like seriously, like when you come and jab me in the ribs or something, I'm like, you son of a bitch, and I punch back or whatever. Or when you're like, when I'm putting you in a headlock and you like fucking dig into me or something, or you like kick me in the shin. I don't get offended by
I
that. Don't
have I
bite.
ever kicked you in the shin?
You've kicked me in the shin like twice, and realized that
I don't remember this.
you threw your heel back into my shin trying to dislodge me, and it didn't work, and you never tried it after the second time.
Oh well, I mean, I guess if I was trying to get you off me, you know,
It didn't work naturally.
so you know,
But that's
yeah, no, biting. I don't do that. That's
You bit me
that
one
doesn't.
time, and I punched the hell out of you for it.
I think I will just like slobber on your fingers given the opportunity.
Yeah. No, you had
I
one
have done
time
that before.
you had one time that you bit me, and I socked the hell out of your arm for it. Because you bit me pretty hard too, and I was like, "You son of
Yeah.
a bitch! How dare you!"
Although one of my favorite things that I've ever done, which was hilarious, it was when we were working at Red Horse Cafe. You were just minding your own business.
What did you
I
do?
came in with a spoonful of whipped cream.
Oh yeah, you flung that shit at me, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
What'd you
I put it
do?
in your mouth and pushed it in further.
Right. I remember. I almost choked on that. You little fucker. I'd forgotten about that. I blacked out of that one, apparently. I just was like, nope, gone from memory. We're done with that.
There's so many things that so many memories of you have of me that you've probably blacked out at this point.
Well, and that's kind of the point I'm trying to really get at, though. We all learn from that shit. Hazing is a rite of passage among men.
Yeah.
Being told that, hey, it's stupid to put really weird things on your locker that everybody can see and kind of sell yourself down the river like that. You know, the thing is, all you have to do, all you have to do to see that, like, not necessarily that it's that being like trans or anything like that is bad. And all you have to do to see that the support you're getting, the attention you're getting isn't great, just look at the number of people that go into these lifestyles that end up super single.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that you see people complaining about, oh, you're transphobic because you don't like trans women.
Oh no, don't worry, I'm not afraid of you.
Well, that aside, like obviously we're gonna try. It's never good to argue from your own perspective. It's always important to start your argument from their perspective. Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not interested. It's not that I'm phobic. It's not that I care that you're trans. I'm just simply not interested. I'm not interested. Scott's not going to be interested. Most men are not going to be interested. And the ones that are interested, this is actually something I've heard a trans person say. Generally speaking, the kind of men that are interested in trans women are less interested in them and more interested in a fetish.
Yep.
Generally, the kind of men that are super into trans women are also really fucking creepy and really fucking scary. That's not one for one. That's not 100% true. But it's a generalization that really proves the point that generally means that it's going to be a mental health showdown between two different groups of people. And that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a generalization. It's not accurate because I'm a creepy guy and I'm not into,
Man,
trans
why
women.
you gotta make this argument weird though? Why you gotta put your fucked up half comedic spin on shit? But no,
it's supposed to be a lighthearted podcast, David.
Right.
It's called Fecal Matters.
Right,
we don't
right.
take shit too seriously. Come on, David.
Hey, Fecal
it's your own
Matters.
show.
Fecal Matters is
We have a
about all
golden
shit,
toilet.
not some shit. I love my golden toilet. Okay, that shit is amazing. That
It is
Miyazaki
pretty
style
cool.
background is fucking chef's kiss.
I'm half expecting Rick Sanchez to just like walk up to it.
Oh God, just take.
You remember that episode?
Yeah, where he's the most beautiful private toilet in the entire universe. Yeah.
And he realizes someone else actually sat on it.
Somebody else found his toilet. Hey, who the hell's been here? God.
Goes on a mission to find out who it is.
Right.
Kills a whole cartel in order to find out.
But yeah. No, that's exactly it. To me, it's sad. I really do think that. Like, as somebody that's, married and living pretty well, like, well, obviously within my means, but like, I'm living well. I'm not living in any, I'm not super depressed at all times or anything. Like, I'm living well.
Yeah.
That's why I don't, everyone's so quick to judge. Everyone's so quick to judge trans people. Everyone's so quick to judge different people's lifestyles. And I'm just like, I hope they find happiness. That's all I care about. I really do. I hope that they find someone that makes them happy. I hope that they maybe, if they need help, I hope they find the help they need. If somebody is, now the one time I will intercede, like I've already said, is when it comes to kids, which is how we got on this topic in the first place.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but again, this is not the first time I've said this on this podcast. It's kind of the second time I've said this on this episode of the podcast. But please leave kids out of it. And if kids are getting themselves involved with it, please limit their screen time. Please get them away from chat rooms where people are trying to convince them of what they want to be. Because at the end of the day, kids do not come up with these bright ideas on their own. They really don't. Somebody somewhere convinced them of this thing. You know how I know? My buddy has an 8-year-old kid. That 8-year-old kid randomly and entirely believes pretty much everything that either I or his father say to him. I'm not joking. That kid mimes us day in, day out, everything we do because he looks up to both of us. All it takes is a kid thinking he respects someone even a little bit and he will fucking eat everything they say as gospel. That kid will come up to me and he'll see the food I'm making and he'll get so excited to try the food I'm making. God, one of the funniest things is he was so sure he had the same capsaicin tolerance. If you don't know what capsaicin is, it's what's in chilies that makes them taste hot. Okay? He was so sure he had the same capsaicin tolerance as both his father and I that we went to a restaurant, him and I and his dad and my wife, and we were ordering burgers that had jalapenos on it. So damn it, he had to order a burger with a jalapeno on it too so he could hang out with the big guys. And man, I have never seen a kid drink so many lemonades back to back to back to back than that night. Because he He really believed, he was impressionable enough to believe that he could hold his own with us, even though we warned him. We were like, "Hey, kiddo,
Look, it's hot. You don't need to get it.
We've been eating food like this for a long time. We're much older than you. This is hot. Like, if you're gonna try it, please have a drink candy." And he kept a drink candy because we warned him. Man, dude, and he put on the toughest face. He sat there just stoic as shit, just drinking lemonade.
I'm sure his eyes were red as hell.
Sweat start dripping down the side of his cheek because the jalapeno was so toasty to his poor little head. And that's what I'm trying to get at here is kids will do anything to impress others. Kids will do anything to feel like they're wanted and appreciated and respected. All you've got to do as adults, as family, as friends of these kids because you're friends with the adults or whatever in their family, all you've got to do is convince them they're fine. Oh, somebody told you that you need to be a furry? You don't need to be a furry to fit in. You're fine. It's okay. There's other friends you can make. And the same thing with a lot of people that are already furries. You don't have to agree with them. As a matter of fact, I swear to God, I'm so glad that 2 things happened when I was younger. I'm so glad my parents whooped my ass on a regular basis every time I got some dumbass bright idea in my mind about something I had no fucking clue about. And 2, I am so glad that they never let me get away with that shit. Because at the end of the day, my parents, for what it's worth, and they weren't always the best, they weren't always perfect, but my parents always tried, and I was not an easy kid to raise. I was undiagnosed with my autism. I had ADHD and refused to take my meds. I was struggling in school because between the autism and the ADHD, if it didn't interest me, I just wasn't fucking doing it. They fought with me all the way up until the day I graduated, and they kept on fighting with me until I was old enough to handle myself. And thank God my parents always were out there looking at me and checking in on me and helping me out and giving me tips and pushing me in the right direction, because you know what? Kids are creative enough to do stupid shit. Turns out when you get older and you're a little bit more dull and all you can think about is how fun it is to have chickens and eggs coming out of the coop, and that's the highlight of your fucking morning is a fresh egg. Turns out you stop having weird, bright ideas and you just kind of start living a nice, happy, simple life. And that's just how it works. Kids are learning, so they're more exploratory. I guess the best way to think of it is kids aren't really all that creative, actually. Realistically, they're really not. Kids are just trying to understand concepts. And in the magnitude of everything in the world, understanding a concept can suddenly turn into the boogeyman. Don't get out of bed and make the floors creak at night. Why? Because I'll get mad at you. Now you have the boogeyman. Santa's real until Santa's not real. Yep. The Tooth Fairy? God, I was 7 before I realized the Tooth Fairy was someone slipping money under my pillow. You know why? I woke up and saw him slipping money under my pillow. It was all a lie. It's okay to feed your kids creativity and fantasy. It's not okay to make it their entire lifestyle, because fuck, how old, Scott, realistically, we're going to make this a little personal, you and I.
Okay, let's make this personal, David.
Realistically, how old were you when you could officially say you finally understood yourself?
Oh, I don't even know if I understand myself 100% right now. Like, okay. I'm still exploring.
Okay, give yourself some margin, though. Some margin. Okay, we'll say 80. We'll say 60 to 80%.
80%? I want to say 24, 25.
Yeah, 24, 25. That's when you finally establish this is kind of the thing I like doing. These are the things I like going to. This is definitely what I prefer sexually. That sort of thing. That's the kind of stuff I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. So 24, 25.
Yeah, somewhere. I guess. Yeah, around the time that my brain finished developing is kind of when I came to that realization.
So, what was like the oh fuck moment? Like, what was the duh moment that helped you know that was right around the age you started kind of understanding it?
I'm not sure if there was like specifically a duh moment, but it's just a lot of little things, a lot of tiny little realizations adding up over time, to where it's like, okay, I have an idea of how I like to live my life now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah.
seems like the older I get, the more clear it becomes. But I could say definitively, all right, this is how I like to live my life. Somewhere around when so that was about the time I was living in Utah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That makes
so
sense.
coming at the tail end of my time in Utah to moving to Texas, figured it out.
I'm going to ask you because I'm curious what you think because Scott has been my best friend for way fucking too long, to be fair. God knows how we still put up with each other. But when do you think it
Oh,
was
it's
for
because I'm
me?
funny.
When do you think it was for me out of curiosity that I might have realized myself a lot better?
Let's see. I want to say it was somewhere around 2015, 2016.
Right, how old though?
I think you're about 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about 24, 25.
See, I don't know that I agree. I think it was closer to like 28.
Because I mean,
I really do.
because you had a lot of really good times in North Dakota. So I mean, based off of how you talked about your time in North Dakota and how you described how life was going for you there, it seemed like that's where you were
That's where I was
either like coming
happiest.
to that realization.
Yeah, no, that's where I was happiest. And the thing is, I realized I was pretty happy there, and yet I still agreed to move to Texas.
Yeah.
Which to this day, I still feel like it was a pretty large mistake.
I mean,
We had some
yeah,
fun
maybe.
times, but Texas is where I really solidified that I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not a big city, big crowds. Like, because it was while I was in Texas, again, 28, 29 years old, where I was really like, I was down, I was depressed, I was really examining my life and realizing that it was like, God, I just really liked Fargo. It was so quiet. It was so straightforward in Fargo. You knew what you were doing every day. And that's where I was like, oh shit. I'm just a fucking Gomer that likes to be at home and doing the simple things and eating good food and going to work every day and handling my shit. Cause like, yeah, it just, and I guess, like I said, we're making this a little personal. So like, that's when I realized this is what I need in my life. This is the kind of people I want in my life. I don't always want to have to carry the fucking weight for everybody around me all the goddamn time because it gets aggravating, man. It gets tough. It gets tough carrying the load for so many damn people, and that's exactly it. Is like, that was the moment. It was right. I can't remember exactly what day it was. I know we were already in, um, I know, and I think we were still in the apartment. I just remember being like, I I don't like this place. I don't like these people. I don't like how everyone's so clicky. I don't like how politics runs absolutely everything in this area because you're either on one side or the other and there's no in between. You can't talk to anybody unless you're on the same fucking team.
I like how you said clicky, even though what you really meant was more racially divided, because
It
that seemed like
is.
where all the cliques were formed.
And
That's
yet
how they were organized.
and yet here I was with black friends and white friends and Mexican friends and I've always been a diverse person with diverse interests. So diverse people aren't really an issue for me. I like them all. I like everybody. Just don't be
Yep.
an asshole. It's simple. I don't care about your culture that much. I don't care if
Or
you
if you're
don't
gonna
care
be an
about my
asshole,
culture.
be an asshole for the right reasons.
Yeah, I mean, having an asshole tone doesn't make you an asshole. Just a lot of people are sensitive,
Yep.
you know?
So
But like, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Again, for you, 24, 25, with me and my autism, because I develop a little bit slower, that aha moment was, yeah, 28, 29, where I really, really noticed that that's what I needed in life to feel happy was just a quieter, calmer kind of place. You know what that really means? You don't know what the fuck you are when you're 16.
exactly.
You don't know what the hell you are when you're 17. You've spent your whole damn life living under some kind of structured system, whether it's something your parents raised you into, whether you're in school, whether Your like friends group is like all the people that are common interests, or maybe you took a common interest and made a new friends group. Your whole life was structured. You hit 18 years old, and if you don't go to college, like Scott went to college for a little bit, but I barely did. I went to the
Oh,
military.
no, I went to CBC. I wouldn't call that college.
It's
I wouldn't
college.
call
It's
that
still
college.
structure.
It is college, but it's just like
The point is
I don't
until
know.
you're like 20 to 24, you still have tons of structure. It's not until you get away, because what was the big thing I convinced you of? There's something that I felt helped me, and I felt like it helped you. The big thing I convinced you of: you need to move out of your parents' place. You really
Yep.
want to. You really want to improve your relationship with your dad. You really want to improve your life. Move out. It's cool
Yep.
that you're paying as little as you are in rent or whatever, which I think actually they were ripping you off at the time, anyways, or at least your dad was.
Oh yeah, my dad wanted he wanted $500 a month,
Yeah, which was more expensive than just getting an apartment with a friend.
which
At
the
at that
apartment was
time
like
at that
300.
time.
It was like $300 a month for an apartment at
Yeah,
that time,
God, that was
which was
cheap.
insane.
God, that was cheap. I still wish
But
you'd have lived with us for a while in Fargo. It would have been good for you, but I think you were still sore
probably,
from the basement.
well, that and I was trying to find a wifeable woman in Utah, which that did not turn out that great for me.
True, but like
So
ultimately, that's the point I'm trying to get to. Though, is it was like we the first thing you had to do was like stop being around your parents after you grew up. You had to actually be
yep,
forced to face a growing up situation where your life wasn't always structured for you, but that you had to build your structure for yourself. And that was the big moment for you to turn your life around. And it was the same big moment for me turning my life around when I got back from the military and literally had to find a place to live because nobody was just going to take me in long term. And I
all
managed
right.
it, and I managed to keep pushing. But like,
Apparently, my cat is taking over my part of the stream.
I see that she is quite comfy on your chest. But that's exactly
She's so cute.
but that's exactly my point though. It's not it's my issue with the kids when it comes to trans this or that. Kids don't know what the fuck they are. And I'm not saying that they should be pigeonholed into male or female either. I'm just saying you shouldn't push their ideology further cuz they don't know what the hell they're doing either. They're just making shit up as they go.
You made me think of a clip. Hang on.
Made you think of a clip. Is
Yeah.
it related?
Yes, it is.
Oh boy. Am I gonna get canceled? I don't care. Fucking cancel me, daddy. I'll move to Kick. Cancel me again, daddy. I'll move to Rumble. I'm not just gonna stop doing the live stream. It's always gonna happen.
Let's see. What's the name?
Can we make? Oh my God, Scott. Think about this though. Let's make a Kick podcast just called "Cancel Me, Daddy," where we just spend the whole time talking about the most offensive shit possible until we get banned. Why is that the worst pilot ever? Okay, here's the thing. The only way Cancel Me Daddy works is if we get other ethnic representation.
It's like the
Am I
what's going
wrong?
on with this thing? Hang on.
Well, because
Facebook rebooting everything is kind of just messing everything up for me. Hang on.
rebooting. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't
Shoot.
use Facebook that much, so I don't know.
Well, no, it's like my Opera browser. They did something with Facebook Messenger that it wants me to update all my login information.
Yeah, they logged me out earlier today. What the fuck's
So
up with that? Does anyone
there's a shutdown going. on-
watching know anything about that? Because I'm really
Look
curious. Like, I just got logged out random as shit from Facebook Messenger earlier today when I went to send a message to an old friend.
But I know I just sent you the clip on Messenger. But
I can't promise I can even see it right now.
here, you want me to send it on Discord?
Hold on. It seems like I'm still being able to access it on my PC.
So
Okay, I know what you're referencing here. There it is, guys. I saw this earlier, actually.
it's so good.
Yeah, okay, cool. And what are your pronouns? They, them.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Why is it being so slow?
Okay, cool. Wait, what are your pronouns?
I'm disabled, not a retard.
Okay, is it okay if I touch you? Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Can I just steal the voice clip of him saying I'm disabled, not a
retard.
and just like make that something that we can just redeem channel points for? Because it feels like a great fucking clippable.
Honestly, you should do it. You should
Oh,
do
man.
it. Just grab the little audio clip from the
Dude,
show.
I was minding my own business yesterday, making fresh chicken wings in the fryer. I was minding my own business, and suddenly I get like a shitload of Snapchat notifications, and it's all Sarah singing some like weird like homemade opera piece about the Krabby Patty pizza that I've
The
never
Krusty
heard.
Krab pizza.
Yeah, the
is
Krusty Krab
pizza for you and me.
That's what she was singing. I've never heard that before. I don't watch SpongeBob.
It's from SpongeBob. It's when
Yeah.
when someone orders a pizza by phone to the Krusty Krab, and so Mr. Krab sends Squidward and SpongeBob out to go deliver a pizza, and they end up getting lost in the wilderness somehow.
But yeah, she
And
was
they-
just like singing it, but like with an opera tone. And like she kept like I think she was drinking. I swear to God she was drinking. But she kept stopping to laugh her ass off at her own stupidity and then go back to singing it again. Fucking hilarious. Had me just rolling the whole time. I was like, yo, what the actual fuck was this? She said, I'll have you know I'm the most amazing singer of this entire generation. I said, indubitably, surely this is a masterpiece that will survive the ages. and then and then I told her, I was like, but seriously, I'm going to have to use you for voice clips now for my live stream. She just started laughing.
So speaking of things that had people rolling, this individual hypothetical had me rolling the other day.
Okay.
So Stephen Hawking. So you got to pick. So you're in a gladiator arena. You got Stephen
I
Hawking.
don't like where this is going. Go ahead.
So you have there's two scenarios. First scenario is you can fight 20 Stephen Hawkings, but their wheelchairs can go 30 miles an hour.
Ow.
Or you can fight 20 Helen Kellers, but they have 2 handguns each.
How many rounds?
Who are 13? And it's so 13 per gun.
26 rounds per how many Helen Kellers?
20. So 520 bullets.
Do they know that they're fighting me?
Yes, they all know that they're trying to kill you. You know, the question is, which one are you going to take on and why?
I mean, it has to be the Helen Kellers still, right? What's my weapon?
You don't get one.
Wait. I don't have to have a weapon if I fight the Helen Kellers because I just steal theirs.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a solid chance they just start dumping mags.
Sure, but what's the caliber in the mags?
Let's just say 9mm or 45.
So all I need to do is obtain one Helen Keller to block many rounds.
Sure.
What's my starting point in the arena? What's their starting point?
You're dead. You are dead center in a circle with the Helen Kellers. The Helen Kellers are all pointing their guns right at the middle. Okay.
How could they
now,
know?
They don't know where. I'm just saying they're positioned in such a way. Whoever the game announcer is,
Sir,
they have all their guns pointed directly at you. They don't know where you are.
How do they know when the round starts?
I'm sure they just they just like cause the whole thing to tremor, so they can feel when.
What the fuck are they, Beethoven?
They just shake the whole arena. I don't know. Anyway, the whole point is, are you going to go against the 20 Helen Kellers or the 20 Stephen Hawkings?
Bro, all I have to do is hit the ground against 20 Helen Kellers and I win. They start firing off just and gun each other down. No matter how you do this scenario, the Helen Kellers are going to do more collateral damage to themselves than I ever have to.
Yep, absolutely.
It's going to be me versus like 2 Helen Kellers and a whole lot of handguns. Just me on the ground, just prone, just popping off Helen Kellers.
So how many Stephen Hawkings would I have to chop off before it comes worth it to try to take on Stephen Hawking in that scenario?
30 miles an hour, bro. There's no winning that. He knows how to. He has been running that cart his whole life. He knows how to drive it into something.
He's got them angles.
Bro, he can put it into the assisted van. Of course he's got them angles. He knows how to throw that shit in park. He sure as hell knows how to throw it into somebody. The fuck? No,
It's like-
fuck that. That is an unfair match.
Just in the robotic voice. Vector this.
Eat my black hole. Dust.
Oh man, yeah,
Oh,
just
no. That's well, guys. It was a good run, but I might get banned on Twitch after today. There's viewers in my channel that I don't recognize at this point, and that might be the one that gets me kicked.
right.
That might be this. What stinks? Apparently, this. This is apparently what stinks. What the fuck? Hi, wife. Are you drinking? You're high. You'd never bother me this much on stream unless you were high. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that did smell the stink
So
of you walking through smelling like some skunk. That dankest weed. I live in Washington State. I can legally do that.
it's legal there.
It's legal. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But yeah. So something that was kind of interesting, I was looking through news earlier today, and I came across this very interesting article. Apparently, there was a bunch of rumors about Mr. Beast. Hold on, it's being dick.
For $5 billion. Honestly, that wouldn't surprise me.
Mr. Beast responds to claims that Disney bought his channel for $5 billion. No, that first of all, that never happened. And he responded to it and debunked the rumor. But could you imagine, though? Like, is there really a world where Mr. Beast just sells his channel?
He wouldn't do it.
He wouldn't
He
do it.
wouldn't.
Like, why would you? This is like infinite money. He is literally the ultimate infinite money hack. Well, why would you ever sell? But yeah, like I think the reason it happened is apparently he's getting ready to launch some sort of television show.
So maybe he's working with Disney on that television show, but I don't think he's selling
No,
his channel.
with his first TV show is with Amazon Prime. Is a
Oh.
deal worth $100 million, which I'm gonna go on a limb and say this: $100 million was too low of a deal for him. His YouTube channel has 242 million subscribers. If even a quarter of those buys a sweatshirt off of his shop, it's more than he got paid in this Amazon deal. To me, I don't know. Maybe it's just my opinion, but to me, Mr. Beast doing a TV show feels silly. Like, first of all, I don't see what it's even about. But like, that's one of the biggest names in internet fame doing a TV show for Amazon.
It's probably just a bunch of giving away a bunch of stuff. Probably like one of the. It's probably honestly, I'm gonna probably say he's gonna be the new Oprah.
You think?
I think it's gonna be that kind of show.
Yeah.
It's because Oprah just would interview a bunch of people and then she'd just give away a bunch of stuff to a whole bunch of winos and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
I just think it was funny because it was like, yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see why he would do $100 million. That seems like such a non-lucrative deal. I mean, I guess it's $100 million more than he had, but like, again, all he has to do is release a cool new sweatshirt.
And he's got $100 million.
He's got more than that. Like imagine you have 424 million subscribers. Imagine every one of them bought a $30 Mr. Beast sweatshirt that he produced at $10 a piece.
Yep.
800
He
$848
doesn't need it.
million. No, way more than that. But like just overnight.
Yep.
Like obviously that's an exaggeration because you're not going to get all 242 or 200 or 242? Yeah, 242 million people to
Like he
buy
might
all
he
of them.
might end up seeing somewhere around like 80 million of them. But still, like
Yeah.
overnight,
Most
$80
people,
million.
what's what I'm saying? A $30 sweatshirt for a brand, somebody that you like and that you want to support what they do, is pretty fucking minimal. There's a reason why he doesn't mind doing all these giveaways. He gets to do them as tax write-offs, first of all.
Yeah.
So he actually saves a lot of money that would go to the IRS. But like, second of all, it's good business. He doesn't really care because he's got more money than he's ever going to use.
Oh no, and not from lack of trying either. Like he's trying to spend it all
God, I
just
still
on
remember.
other people.
I still remember the one time he literally paid an Uber driver to drive him from one side of the country to the next.
Probably paid the dude like 50 grand.
Oh yeah, he paid the hell out of him. He got so much money off that. But yeah.
Like,
So
I think the base fare was like $2,000,
yeah,
but certainly he gave him way more than
I think
that.
he tipped him like 10 or 20,000. I can't remember.
Well,
it was a long time ago.
He tipped him that much in the app,
Yeah. But it was a long
but then
time ago.
he gave him more.
Right. But yeah.
So yeah, that is an old video.
Yeah.
But he
I think
around
that
that
was-
time he was
I think that was my introduction to Mr. Beast.
around that time though he also paid off his mom's mortgage.
Yeah.
So he was definitely making somewhere in the millions of dollars.
Yeah. Oh
So-
yeah. He's still the biggest YouTuber on the planet. There's nobody that touches him. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of what he does is just give
Right.
shit to people.
Is he bigger than PewDiePie right now?
I think so.
Hang on, let me.
He's definitely the top grossing. Doesn't matter how you try to view it.
Well, I'm just looking. So 111 million subscribers on PewDiePie. Mr.
Mr. Beast
Beast
is at 242 million.
is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
PewDiePie's-
243 million.
PewDiePie's got shit compared to Mr. Beast. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah, because I remember PewDiePie. Oh, a while ago, PewDiePie was the biggest.
The reason you got to remember that PewDiePie was the biggest because he was basically trying to violate the living hell out of T-Series.
Yep.
He was trying to
Wait.
prove that T-Series didn't deserve a top spot on the on YouTube in the first place.
Yep.
Which I mean,
Yeah. Bitch
technically they
Lasagna was an incredible song.
fucking bitch lasagna. T-Series is just bitch lasagna. God,
And
that
then,
was so stupid.
Then his congratulations video was also just a slam dunk.
I don't know if I saw that one.
You want to do a live react to that?
Nah, not right now.
It's a pretty good video. It's hilarious, but very heartfelt, and it's got Mr. Beast in it.
Does it? That's not
Yeah.
surprising. So, I was at the store earlier today. Speaking of me always trying to push the bar on this channel just a little bit further every time I can. I was at the store earlier, originally there to look at like OnePlus phones because I want to upgrade my phone pretty soon. And then got very distracted very quickly because they didn't have any OnePlus phones and I wasn't done looking around Best Buy. And I ended up coming across fucking like the notebooks, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, if I start traveling, I don't want to really skip podcasts. I can actually just set up like a small notebook and a podcast bag with like a smaller setup going out, like a fucking USB hub, my microphone on a small stand, and put my camera in there with my capture card and all that shit for it, right? And I came across the one that was perfect, I thought. And then I ended up not buying it. It was the Samsung Book 3, I think it was called. It was Galaxy Book 3. It was the Galaxy Book 3. And I was like, oh, this thing's like nice. It's on sale for half off. It's got plenty of memory space in it, so it'll record videos just fine. And then I was just like, what is it using for a graphics card? Man, what are you doing? Weirdo. But like, I was like, man, got to look at it. It's like, I can't find any information on the Intel chip in it for a graphics card that basically says that, yeah, it'll do a great job encoding. Just no information on the internet anywhere. And I'm just sitting there like, it would have been nice because it was also one of those ones that you can flip upside down, like to flip the whole screen over and use it as a drawing pad. And all I was thinking is, how nice to like make more art stuff for this channel. Dreams are just killed, man. So if anyone can find something that does something like that, let me know in the comments or whatever on YouTube, or if you're ever in my Twitch chat, to let me know about that, because I'm trying to find a way to like be able to go places and also not interrupt my live stream.
You know, if you ever decide to do that, I'm gonna have to figure out my own camera situation. Which, if we are going to do that, we probably need to set up a StreamYard so I can actually stream into StreamYard and have it
why
set
don't
up
you
that
actually
way.
tell me what StreamYard is? Because you keep bringing up StreamYard.
Like I said, it's we both stream to StreamYard, and then StreamYard plays a stream to whatever. They're the middleman between us and YouTube, Twitch, or wherever the stream goes.
I mean,
so
here's what I'll do.
We'll
make it an unofficial stream, like an unplanned stream sort of thing, where we'll try that out, but it won't be the podcast. It'll just be us like dicking around on Borderlands or something. Because my issue with that, and the reason I haven't done that, is because anytime you send your processes to another system, you get extra latency.
Yeah, it reduces load on your end, though.
I don't have a load.
I mean, I do.
You shouldn't. That's not my fault that you're using a piece of shit computer still. Not my fault you don't upgrade ever. All you need is a new graphics card, but no, $450 is too much for Scott.
Look, I could spend that $450 on something else.
You want to bitch about how you can't play games, but then you don't want to actually upgrade the system to play games.
And yet I still play games.
Yeah, you play shit that your computer can run while whinging about the fact that you can't even touch the new stuff.
I mean, I can play the new stuff. I just don't feel the desire.
I'm sorry, how bad was it to play Hogwarts Legacy on there?
Okay, that's different. Hogwarts Legacy was so immensely graphically demanding.
No,
I wasn't the only one. No, I wasn't the only one having the issue. I was not the only one having the issue. It was a major, significant problem for many of the players.
Bro, that's here nor there to the fact that you're unwilling to upgrade.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm unwilling to upgrade right now, but that's not. But you're using a hyperbolic example here.
No, I'm not. It's a modern game that you can't run very well because you do not upgrade your graphics card.
It's a modern game that does not work on a high percentage of the players' computers.
Because they all have shitty old computers.
It is a known issue. It has nothing to do with my specific graphics card.
I'm sorry. Is there not a recommended spec sheet?
There is a recommended spec sheet.
Isn't there also a minimum spec sheet? So it occurs to me it's not an issue, it's an expectation.
So, in any case, it is a gorgeous game, by the way.
No shit. And I'm glad I got a computer that'll run it nice.
It is a beautiful game.
Because I'm not a cheap fuck. You son of a bitch. Just get a graphics card.
I'm working on buying a house in Dallas. Thank you.
Why would you? Okay, we're going to talk now. Why in Dallas?
Because there's better business over in Dallas.
Okay, but the cost of living is also tremendously higher, and the crime rate is significantly higher too.
Not in the northern parts of Dallas.
Are you at least carrying if you're going to go out there?
Oh, I carry it. I carry all the time.
Okay. Because I would not be caught selling anything and having a pile of cash on me in Dallas without a weapon available.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. But I'm currently looking at a with my whole debacle with the stockyards, I've been looking at a different location
How did
called
that
the
end
truck
with the
yard.
lawyers?
So basically how it ended up being is the city hall said, well, they said yes on Monday, and then they said no on Thursday.
Okay.
So I didn't have any standing on Thursday, following Thursday. So it's it's just a whole bunch of bullshit, but it's all
Okay.
not
But what
in
did
my
the
favor.
lawyers say?
They said I don't have a case. That's what they said.
So I was right. I'm not like soapboxing
So
here, but remember I was talking with you about it later on, and I was like
Yeah.
reading through the statute, and I was like, you might actually be fucked because from what I'm reading here, they kind of got
So-
you by the balls.
Yeah, so in this particular case, in this particular instance, I have a couple of options available to me to try to get back out in the stockyards, but it's going to be a litigious battle and not really a it would be, I have to go talk to the county commissioner, see what I can do about getting a petition started, taking the petition, getting as many signatures as I possibly can.
Right.
Which it's going to be really easy to get signatures. That's not going to be difficult
Right.
because there's no food in the stockyards after 11, which is a drastic oversight. I don't know why nobody wants to have food out in the stockyards after 11.
It's not about nobody wants to have food out in the stockyards. The cooks don't want to work that late.
Well, there are plenty of people that are willing to work out that late. Me, taco trucks, there's a lot of people that want to go set up
small
out
business,
there. Exactly.
but not people
And
that are
they're-
employed.
but there are people that are more than happy to buy food that is right there
Yeah.
in the stockyards.
No, I agree.
And and a private entity controlling the flow of commerce on in a public domain is I that doesn't sit right with me.
Unfortunately, in this case, public domain, like I said, I read into the statutes and stuff on it. Unfortunately, in this case, public domain is not necessarily a factual thing because it is a historic preservation site. That's where you run into the issues because there is commerce in there and it is a historic preservation site. The people that handle the historic preservation also handle the commerce. It's kind of a fucked if you do, fucked if you don't situation. Because if they don't have somebody in there controlling, then any jackass can set up on the street and there's not much you can do about it. But because they do control that space, they have a right to say what businesses are fair game and what are not. So that's what you're running into. And that's what I was reading when I was reading through the statute. Is like, oh, okay, he's actually running into an interesting wall here where basically City Hall didn't know their fucking laws and had to go back and review it.
Which now my options are, if I want to contest this in any way, shape, or form, I have to take it through a petition route and actually get people signing a petition saying, hey, we want to have small businesses have access to all publicly accessible areas.
So the thing is because it is historic, and like I said, I was reading some of the things, because it is a historic space, the fact of it is, and that's because I really think back and I don't remember there being any other food trucks out there. Like not that I can really think of. All the times I went there was not a lot of food trucks at all, if ever.
So
But
I wouldn't be setting up in the historic part of it, because like that is all sequestered off on one side. I'm talking about across the street where it's all free to park. Because in the historic area, there's no free parking allowed. There's no free parking anywhere.
I guess you'd have to
You have to pay
describe
to park.
where you were at,
I mean, if I can,
because the historic district there is huge.
if
A
you
lot
want to
of
pull
those
up the map,
buildings are old and preserved.
if you want to pull up a map, I can show you exactly where it is.
Can you give me just coordinates? Send me the coordinates as a stamp, like a pin drop. But yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say.
If I shared my screen with you, would you be able to stream it? Would that work?
I'm not gonna
I
go
don't know.
that hard. You can either send me the coordinates using a pin drop on Google Maps, and I can look at it that way, or But like, that's the thing I was reading is basically, if your business would deface the context of the space, because I remember in the stockyards, all the front-facing buildings were kind of kept very classic looking. Obviously, business signs were allowed to be a little bit more loose in respect, but yeah, I remember all the front-facing signs were like buildings that would have been maybe like tack rooms and things like that that were converted into shops. And
All right, I sent you the coordinates.
let me go ahead and pull them up real quick.
So on one side of Main Street, which is that big big north to south street there, on because I was set up on the left side. That's all free to park area. That's not the historic side of it.
So let
Which
me
you don't have
see.
you don't have it up yet.
I'm
Unless
working,
you are
I'm working on it. Chill. By Jamie King?
Huh?
By Jamie King
Where? What do you mean, Jamie King?
in the stockyards? Oh no, where? Oh, there's the right place.
Yeah, so I was set up over by the basement bar. So you'd have to zoom in a little bit. But so you got Main Street and so Exchange Avenue, which runs the which should be running where I dropped the coordinates.
Tattoo Ranch
Yeah.
down here.
Yep. So everything on the left side of Main Street, which is that two lane the up and down road, everything on the left side, that's not historic. Everything on the right side, that's all the historic part. I was set up on the other side.
Let me see if I can switch the view. Trying to remember how to do that shit. Also, Opera apparently acts weird with this shit.
If you want to, are you trying to get down to like the street view?
The satellite view.
Satellite view?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
satellite view
well, it's
where it shows proper topography.
yeah. Well, bottom left corner there.
This? Okay. Because this helps me see it a lot better. So here's Exchange. This is historic stuff right here.
Yeah, that's all the historic stuff.
Where all the cattle yards are. This is where all the buildings are at Rixie's. Classic carriages there. Historic right here at the Hyatt. Which, by the way, this hotel is really cool.
And then on the other side, you have a whole bunch of bars.
So they won't let you do business over here?
Yeah.
See, I kind of felt like you were just setting up right here near the Wranglers or something.
No, I wasn't setting up over there. So all that's area there, that's all free to park. Anyone can park on that street. And then of course you got pay to park parking lots, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Right. Got Stockyard Saloon. And you're sure this isn't considered historic district?
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can pull up the diagram that I was given by City Hall. See what they do. See what it says. I know it's like divided into different sections because you go out far.
Yeah, no, look,
it's like
this is
different
still
zone.
No matter how you try to look at it, this is all historic view. They're still using the same old brick buildings. None of this has been updated. This is all considered historic downtown still.
So, well, like I said, if I wanted to try to get
this
back
is where
there,
you were setting up right here.
hang on, where is that? Is that in front of Basement Bar? It looks like it goes across the street from where I was setting up, but yes.
Oh, you're on this side?
Yeah.
So you were setting up what, right here?
Yeah, right where that American flag is, where that car is. On the left there.
Oh, right there.
Yep.
So right in front of this business.
But that's closed at night. So they're closed at night.
Yeah, but you're right in front of this place, right? Is this a restaurant?
No, it's a boutique.
Barbecue on a bun?
It hasn't been updated in a while, but it's a boutique.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, permanently closed.
Yeah. So
you were right here in front of this boutique that's closed at night. I mean, I appreciate what you think should have been fair game. But it's like I was saying the other day when I was talking to you, and I said, you know, don't take my word for it, but I'm betting a lawyer is going to say you have no case here
Yeah.
after I started
Well,
really looking at the statutes.
well, like I said, the only way forward for me if I want to go back, and this is only if I want to go back, is I would need to contact my county commissioner, because I actually don't live in city proper, so I don't get a city councilman. But I do live in Tarrant County, so I can talk to the commissioner. They're the ones that represent me.
Why won't this let me back out? Oh, God.
Hit
Now we're going in other directions. What's this say?
escape. Hit escape.
Is that what it is? Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. No, I see what you're trying to say, and I see what you think you're doing. But, like, even just looking at the front facing of these buildings, man, this is all still historic. The historic district for here doesn't end until I want to say it was Houston.
Yeah, well, then it turns into residential.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
From here, all the way down, because here's the rodeo exchange too. From here, all the way up here, all the way back here, all the way around Stockyards Boulevard, all the way down here. This one here, River Ranch Stockyards as well. To across here, Commerce, to here again. This is in the historic district as well. Yeah, all of that. That's all stockyards. Every single bit. I know that seems insane, but it's all stockyards. Every single bit of it.
Well, yeah. So my best chance of getting back there, if I do want to go back, which I probably don't, because the thing I'm looking at is probably going to be a better option for me anyway. Is to get a petition going, get all the people that would be going to these bars to write something and say, hey, we want food options out here in the stockyards. The food options aren't actually allowed to be out here, and we want that changed. We want food vendors to be allowed to set up in the free, publicly accessible areas.
Yeah. No.
So
I don't see that being a really viable option, because then because that'll actually just lead you ending up with space rental, and you don't want to deal with that.
Sure. Well, I mean, if that's if that's how the city of Fort Worth wants to run it, then sure.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like at this point, like, there's better
But
places.
right now, what I'm looking at is the dedicated. It would be a bar that has food trucks show up on a schedule. And it would be, and they have this deal going where if I sign up with the commissary that they also own, I would be guaranteed 6 weekend spots a month.
Well, that's not bad. And you need to have a commissary exchange to work at anyways.
Yes. The issue is it's out in Dallas. So that's why I'd be looking out in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, just make sure that you really take a survey of the area, make sure you have a solid idea of what you're actually looking at for income for that space.
Yeah. So I want to try to get in with them. I need to re-up my health license anyway. But I do get 1 free month at my current commissary just because they are, well, not free, but because I already paid for it. But
right.
I'll have a month to be able to transition. So I'll probably just get the permits for Dallas and then just go out to Dallas.
That would make sense. Oh shit! Sorry.
And run that. It would be minimum 11 to 11 shifts.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that
I
sucks,
can go longer if I want.
Because I know last week I was like, you probably have a good case because you already had all this information, and then I was just like, well, I'm gonna do a statute check for him because I was just like, I'm not trying to talk about. That's why I told you to lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. Don't just assume you know better. Don't just assume I'm right or wrong. Talk to a lawyer. And now we've talked to a lawyer after I did a statute check and said, ooh, yeah, lawyer's probably gonna tell you don't really have much here. And it's like, damn, that sucks. But well, like, because you were like, no, I've definitely got. No,
Well,
talk to a
here's
lawyer.
the thing. I was given the yes by City Hall, and then they reneged.
Yep.
3 days later,
I
which
mean,
that's the most frustrating thing for me, because if they had just simply said, let us get back to you on this,
right,
we won't have an answer today, but let us do some research and we'll get back to you.
right,
I would be okay with that.
Yeah,
Like that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't need an answer today. Just tell me when you're going to give me the answer.
right.
But if you tell me yes and then you say no later, that's when I get frustrated.
Right. Nope,
So-
that's kind of what I was trying to suggest too. Is just like, well, sometimes things aren't what you think they are, and that's just because some people make big mistakes. Speaking of big mistakes, fucking Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Why?
Yeah.
Why did it exist? It is so bad. So PlayStation has been having a pretty good track record in the last several years. Steam as well, generally speaking. PlayStation's had a good track record these last few years of basically not letting gamers get fucking bent by big companies. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, $70 game of anti-heroes, taking down some of the most beloved franchise superheroes of all time, the Flash, Batman, Green Lantern. Okay, nobody really loves Green Lantern that much, but whatever. And of course,
Watch,
Superman.
you may have just pissed off. I don't know. Maybe that we have the one Green
The one
Lantern
super
fanboy in here.
Green Lantern fan. Yeah, like I don't know, the guy that
Ju-
can materialize
just
anything
as rare.
out of light. Also, just generally speaking, shouldn't lose any fights, and yet he also obviously he gets his ass whooped on a regular basis. But like,
Almost as rare. Hang on, almost as rare as the one Aquaman fanboy.
yeah. But like, so yeah, Kill the Justice League. I don't care about spoilers for this game. I really don't. But it's Harley Quinn, Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark. And out of all of them, the only one that's kind of interesting is King Shark. Like, it's sad because I think Harley Quinn's probably one of the most interesting villains ever written.
She's so overplayed
But she wasn't.
all the time.
But she did.
She wasn't for a while.
She used to be what she was supposed to be. A sexy, crazy chick.
And then you have the new Harley Quinn show with the chick that plays Penny on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I haven't
as a
seen
voice
it, so I don't
actress.
know. Yeah, I
It's-
don't know.
it's-
I'd have
it's-
to watch it.
It's not that good. Like
not very good?
it feels way too contrived. It feels really stupid to
Hmm.
watch. It's definitely one of those things. Like if you're gonna watch it on Daily Motion at 2x speed,
Yeah,
and don't pay for this. don't pay for it.
that's messed up. But no, yeah. So Kill the Justice League. Not only did it just like piss everybody off, but it tanked really bad in the sales because a lot of people were already a little bit tentative about it. Like even the trailers for it looked like, oh hey, you know how you like Borderlands? How would you feel about King Shark with a fucking minigun? Man, listen, King Shark eats people. That's what King Shark does. King Shark does not use a minigun. He can, but King Shark eats people. That's how he fights. He goes nom. So the way it was written was just like Harley Quinn, same thing. Harley Quinn will shoot people. Harley Quinn prefers to beat the hell out of people with a hammer.
Or blow them up.
Or blow them up. Deadshot? Okay, they did Deadshot all right. He shoots people. He's the one character that makes sense. Even Boomerang. Boomerang rarely used guns. He threw a fucking boomerang.
That's why he's called Boomerang.
So, like, yeah, it pissed me off. It pissed off everybody. Obviously, I didn't buy the fucking game. I just watched all the cutscenes. The story for it was stupid. I mean, you want to talk about putting a thick-ass plot armor on a bad plot? How did all of these regularly defeated villains take down the Justice League? Are you kidding me? How? How'd they beat it? How'd they beat the Justice League? I'm sorry. Superman is like the biggest op ever. If Superman ever truly turned in the DC universe, it's done. It's a fucking wrap. Okay? It's a fucking wrap. If Apocalypse couldn't slow him all the way down, nothing can. All right? This motherfucker, and don't get after me about the fact that Apocalypse and like a couple other villains have killed Superman in the past. I get that. But my point is this. How are you going to convince me that 4 people with essentially no powers took down the single most terrifying character in DC verse in the middle of fucking daytime? If you don't know, Superman is a fucking plant. He eats sunlight and shits out danger. That's what he does. Yep. They beat him with bullets that apparently they had time to make. I mean, and the other thing is that you got to really consider Brainiac's power is that he's smart. How did Brainiac not foresee that maybe the Suicide Squad was getting help and not just kill them all? I mean, all you have to do, and Scott, I know you haven't probably watched it because it's a long, like, it's the ultimate TLDR video fucking game, but like, too long, didn't read, but like, when Wonder Woman dies by Superman punching a hole through her chest.
Gave her the Akainu treatment.
Dude, he gave her the, he said, you want to be a Hashira, bitch? Boom, right through the chest. But anyways.
I'm a fan of your work, reaching through the chest. Handshaking.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. Like, when he beat her ass, all he had to do, he won the fight with a piece of fucking, oh God, I can't even think of what it is that kills him now. What is it? You know.
What, kryptonite?
Yeah, there we go. She stabbed him with fucking kryptonite. He killed her still. He pulled it out of his chest. Because apparently it wasn't enough kryptonite to slow him down. He bled a little, and then he just ran. First of all, if Brainiac's controlling him, he's going to finish the fight. Second of all, why didn't he kill Waller? Why didn't he kill Harley? Why didn't he kill Boomerang? Why didn't he kill anybody? Nah, he just fucking lived. On top of that, even before that, you had the Batman scene in the darkened space, where Batman is just like literally knocking everybody out one by one after he murdered a whole police station full of police. Like, even if we aren't going to give the negative review of the story itself just being an undesirable and bad story, Brainiac's been defeated before. We didn't need a fucking weird multiverse take on Brainiac being the bad guy that managed to take down the Justice League and turn them all to his will. And then a bunch of ragtag villains came up and fucking won the battle. No. It's a bad story because from the beginning, the plot armor is so thick. It is thicker than the fucking new Spice Girl's ass. It's that thick. That's how much fucking plot armor these.
Is there a new Spice Girl?
Think so. I think her name was like Ice Spice or some shit like that.
Hang on.
I could be wrong if that might not be the right name.
You said Ice Spice?
I think so, something like that. I don't remember.
Well, first hit on Google, and why does she look like she has Down syndrome?
I don't fucking know. All I know is she throws ass in all of the videos.
I mean, if she's down, I'm down, I guess. Like,
shut the fuck up, bro. Anyways. So, what I'm saying though is like, why? Why did they create this game? Of course, we're gonna segue into this one after we're done. PlayStation didn't fucking like it either. So people that want refunds for their copy of Kill the Justice League, they're getting a refund. They don't care if you finish the game. You're getting your money back. They're giving it back. They're killing that game because it was a bad game. And on top of that, there has been probably the greatest Steam list I've ever seen. I'm going to pull it up real quick and I'll show everybody. Oh, wait, I can't pull it up real quick because it's on Discord. But it is, let me just find it on the internet real quick. It's, if you guys have never heard of the localizer Sweet Baby Inc. list on Steam. There we go. So Sweet Baby Inc. is the team behind the story and writing of Kill the Justice League.
Like, people just don't have any original ideas, so they're just trying to take what's already existing and convolute it.
Oh no, wait till you see this. I'll pull it up on the news view. So they have made a list called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected with 170,000 and 171,000 give or take. We're in rising followers.
And they
By the way, if you guys want to avoid bad video games and you are on Steam, add this list to your account so that you can just follow the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected list. Because this is a list of all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. was way too involved in. And basically, so what Sweet Baby Inc. does is they're kind of like this whole controversy that's been going on with localizers and shit that are basically like context changing anime into things that are supposed to feel extra inclusive, or, you know, anti-racist or anti-sexism, like all that kind of shit that ends up actually somehow being twice as racist, twice as sexist, and also
Just
extremely
towards-
uninclusive.
Just towards the seemingly, if you were to believe them, oppressed people.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, even then it gets to the point where they like so overrepresent something or other that it's like, oh, so what you're doing is you're alienating everybody except that type. Great. Now everyone just hates the game equally. Or they just lose the plot, right? So Sweet Baby Inc. Detected list has all the games that Sweet Baby was way too involved in, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, look, remember this bombshell of a game? Yeah, Gotham Knights that nobody fucking plays anymore and nobody likes to talk about because it was trash.
It seemed like Valhalla was actually a decent game, though. I didn't play
Valhalla was good, but a lot of people said that like it was such a departure from the original Assassin's Creed formulas that they just kind of felt like it was like a one and done. Like most people are not revisiting this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good one though. Gotham Knights, great example of a game that nobody's playing. South of Midnight, I haven't played, but I'm sure. Dark Alliance, everybody universally agreed that this game was just trash. Hyper Light Breaker, I haven't played yet, but I've heard it's good. This looks like Furries, the video game. Usual Jude, everybody was really excited about, but kind of hasn't done well since it's been released. Yeah. Yep. Actually, ironically, Sable on this list, pretty cool game. But that's because there's not a lot to it outside of it. It's a great little exploration game.
So they're really just compiling a list of all of the
Even the titles that are good, they're compiling. And the reason is because they're trying to boycott Sweet Baby out of existence.
which
Which would be
honestly,
nice.
it is a good thing to boycott and remove bad companies.
Yeah, it would be nice. The number one thing is that everybody forgets they all have a vote. It's called the dollar. The best voting tool you have in the entire world. Ask any politician, they'll tell you. All politicians are bought. Anyways, yeah. I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's fucking hilarious that it's going this far that people are like, you know what? We're sick of you ruining good things. We're sick of you destroying franchises we care about. Like Gotham Knights should never have happened either.
So go away.
Like literally, like fuck off, get out. Yeah. So that's the latest controversy on Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah.
On a similar, and not similar, but on a similar by far as it's involved in gaming. There's a YouTuber I came across this previous week called Veteran Papa. Dude is a Vietnam War veteran, and he's a sniper in real life. Dude is.
Are you talking about
incredible.
the old man?
Yes,
The granddad?
the grandpa.
You really haven't seen him before?
I have not. I
Oh,
was
bro.
so impressed by this. It was so cool to watch this dude.
I've been
This dude
watching
is
this
so
guy for a
good.
while.
This dude is amazing.
Yeah, I've been watching this homie for a while. All right, guys, here you go. Veteran Granddad. Dude, I don't know what's going on with my browser, but it is running slow as shit.
It might be the. That's a cute girl.
That's my background. It's pretty cool.
Is that Courtney in an anime form?
Oh, hell no.
Oh. No, I was just taking a
Let's
guess.
just go for a full reload here and see if it fixes everything. It might have just been a memory overload. Nah, it's still running like ass. I'm not sure what's going on bandwidth-wise here that's causing this.
But this dude's shots are so amazing. Like they're so far away, and he just
Well,
nails it every single time.
If you haven't
I'll go
watched
over
much,
this
he
one
actually
more
has a
time,
book
dude.
on his desk.
How to aim. You pick
Okay.
a spot,
Not good,
like
sir.
right there on
We
that
need to
corner.
secure more territory.
It hit dead on, so you know at least from there in through here.
Marking a
Just secured
hostile.
Sector
Distance
Alpha.
300 meters.
That's the range.
You've got plenty of fight left. They're hitting hard.
The big thing to keep in mind is he is sniping from so far away that they can't even really see him.
Yep.
He's so far away that they can't even trace his shots because they can't even hear them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that guy's pissed.
So, for context, the sniping tactic that he's using here is basically he's running on the rangefinder. I'll try to zoom in a little if I can. Right here, right? So you have these little numbers on the rangefinder, and these are referring to the drop points of this weapon at what distance they drop points exist. So, for example, this is for anything under 200 meters, right through here. This is for anything around 200 meters. So that would be 250, or no, 250 here, 300 here, 400 here, 500 here, 600 here, 700 here, 800 here. So if he is firing and he puts their head in the center and he doesn't have to measure for wind resistance, assuming we're talking about a neutral headwind on this, he is just going to raise the weapon till he reaches one of these incremental dots. And it's all in meters. It's not in feet. It's all in meters. It's always been in meters. God bless this country that doesn't use meters for anything but warfare. But anyways. So that's what he's doing there is he's actually what he was saying when he was saying hit this dead shot is he's saying pick a spot on a wall if you're trying to determine your distance really quickly and you can't figure it out right away. Pick a spot on the wall and shoot. Wherever you see the of the shot landing, that's where it is on your scope. And that'll give you an idea how to deal with your offset. So a lot of spotters will actually do that. They'll set you up with a first shot to test your distance, and they'll set you up with a second, and that'll set you up for your second shot to land everything from where you're sitting. So snipers tend to get into position a day or two ahead of time, so they can actually take that free shot wherever they're going to be sniping somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. You made me think of a. Oh man, what was I thinking? I was thinking about something. You reminded me of something I was going to talk about. Oh man, I completely forgot.
Old age.
I know, right? Something like that.
You're
I
gonna
don't
be a
remember it
grandpa
later.
soon.
I need to have kids to be a grandpa, which means I need to get laid to be able to have kids.
I don't want you to have kids. That sounds like a bad idea.
What, me having kids?
Could you imagine how fucked up those kids are going to be? First of all, if they're men, they're going to be short. Like, we just don't need to make that happen again.
Hey, look, I'm just saying you don't even know what happened because you know where midgets come from. Where the more likely spot for midgets to be, how they're born. They're born to really tall parents.
Are they actually?
More often than not, because I actually did a report on a chondroplasia.
Well, that's because tall people are a fucking travesty as well. They're not supposed to get as tall as they get.
Yeah,
a lot of
chondroplasia.
People with really tall bodies have a lot of bone issues and shit for it.
Yeah,
They end up with thin, like really thin bones.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, well, that's what caused the uh, what's the dude is like a wax statue at Ripley's Believe It or Not museum.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But that's what happened to him. He always had to walk around with a cane because his bones were just not strong enough to support him for
Yeah.
how tall he was. I think it was like 8'4" or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's really interesting the genetics surrounding it, right? Because your body will give you a supporting muscle structure, but it doesn't do anything for your skeletal structure. Like the genetic code does not ever adapt to being that freakishly tall. But it'll give you tons of muscle, so then you're so fucking heavy, you're actually just wearing out your cartilage and your bones
Right.
super, super hard. It's really there's a certain sort of irony to that fact.
Right? Which then that's why like a lot of people say the dinosaurs couldn't really subsist because they were too big to be able to survive. But then it's like, I don't know, maybe not. I have no idea. That's why giants don't exist.
Right. I mean, we have the dinosaurs, they evolved down.
Yeah.
It turns out
So
chickens propagate a lot smoother than raptors.
yep.
They
Yeah,
can
they
eat
still
anything, they can do anything, they can reproduce super, super fast. I mean, you know how hard it would be to actually hunt chickens out of existence, as dumb as they are? Like, it's not an easy
Yeah,
task.
right? Yeah.
Two chickens reproduces 8 more chickens, and inbreeding doesn't seem to be an issue for chickens.
Right? And they tend to grow pretty quick.
Yeah, they take off super damn quick.
Man, I was in the Tractor Supply the other day because some jackass decided to back up over my trailer hitch.
That sucks.
Well, it was just a coupler. I paid $8 for a brand new one.
Okay.
It was on.
So it didn't
it was
fuck your
on-
frame up or anything.
No, it didn't do anything at all to my. But I did miss the event I was trying to go to, so I told them that they need to pay me $500. So they paid me $500. I'll take it.
Sure. Tax free.
Yep, tax free.
Technically, you sold no product.
I did not sell any product whatsoever, and I got $500.
Yeah, I guess did you at least call and tell them?
Oh yeah, no. So I talked to the commissary guy. He sent me a screenshot of who did it, and he sent me the contact information. So.
Well, you were saying you were supposed to go to an event and you kind of couldn't.
Oh yeah, no. I talked to him and I said, "Hey, look, this is what's going on right now. It's all busted." And I showed him a picture. The little latch is supposed to clamp down and like actually hook onto the ball. That's what was broken off.
Yeah, for sure.
So I couldn't actually clamp it down. I couldn't, transport it safely. So I'm like, I can't really transport this safely, so I'm not going to make it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Dude,
did I tell you that one of my tires blew out?
Yeah, how'd that happen?
Dude, I don't know. I guess it must have happened like last Wednesday. I was fucking driving to work. Yeah, I was just fucking driving to work and no, it didn't. No, it happened last Friday, like not this last Friday, but the Friday before. Surprised I didn't bring it up. Yeah, I was driving to work and I was just minding my own business, driving along, and suddenly I feel a big thump and the entire left side of my car come off the ground several inches. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. What fucking broke? Like, I drive a sports car. That's never a good feeling when anything breaks because you have to fix shit. Shit's expensive on sports cars. And I start feeling like I look down on my meters and it immediately shows fucking tire is blown, and I'm like, cool. That's just great. So I managed to grind it out on that tire because whatever made it pop my entire car up probably isn't reparable anyway. So I just don't care about the tire anymore. I just don't want to ruin my rims.
Right.
So I gently roll into town the rest of the way and pull off and start swapping it while I'm calling work. I get to looking at it, and I wish I had the picture on my computer. I'd pull it up for everyone to see, but it looks like something shot my left rear tire. Like it looked like a gunshot hit my left rear tire, because there's a hole, like, I'll put it next to my face so you can see, about this big in my tire. And around that hole, the rubber looks like it was spun a little bit.
What was it, like a big old rock or something that probably could have hit it, or?
Don't know. Wasn't in the tire. Wasn't around the tire. So that's why I was like, well, it couldn't have been a bullet, but something spun really, really hard when it hit. And I was like, is it a screw? Well, where's the screw? Why is the screw not in the tire anymore? Which, I mean, I guess technically I finished driving like the last mile into town, so I guess it could have come out at any point during that. But yeah, fucking furious. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I call like Les Schwab and I'm like, hey, can I set up for an appointment? I did my research, so I figured out what tire I'm looking to get these tires. And they're like, well, so it's a WRX. So I'm sorry, but it's gonna hurt. I was like, oh God, why? Because I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get 2 fucking tires and walk away from this. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna replace the back tires. It's fine. They're like, so since you drive a WRX and WRXs are all wheel symmetrical, you actually really can't just get 2 tires. You do need to get all 4.
Yep,
or else it'll
pretty
fuck up,
much.
or else it'll fuck up your driving system. And I'm just like, ow. No, it doesn't even get better from there. I wish it got better from there. So like, I go to the fucking appointment the next morning because they had to get my tires in special from another location. So they get my tires there at the location, and I go in the next morning, and I'm like sitting there playing on my Steam Deck. I'm playing Final Fantasy IV, like licking my wounds a little because this shit's about to hurt. Like, I already know I'm out of $1,000 at this point for good tires because I don't want super cheap tires. They're gonna be loud as hell on the road because I'm running flats because I'm a WRX and I don't get the luxury of having normal rounded tires like everybody else does. And dude comes out and he's like, hey, so we're working on your car. Looks like everything's good underneath. And I'm like, fuck. Because I mean, again, the whole car lifted up on the left side and slammed back down. Wasn't a great feeling. And he says, but it did knock out the alignment on that fucking surface. And I'm like, God damn it. How much is that going to hurt me? He says it's going to be an extra $114. I'm like,
oh.
So I spent $1,114 after all was said and done.
Damn, dude.
On new tires and an alignment fix. And I was just like, and I'm just sitting there like, I go down next week. Like, the whole plant is going offline next weekend. I have no work for the next month. Thanks, guys.
You know what you can do for work? You could work on the podcast.
Right? I can work on the podcast. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about going down to Lewis, you know? I think I can do some work there. Just gluck.
Which, actually, I remembered what I wanted to say.
Oh, no.
You were talking about the metric system. So I saw this stupid post. Someone talking about how guys' kilograms were going up, but their pounds are going down, and it's like, obviously it doesn't work. So he says, I want to know where I can go to get my kilograms up, but get my pounds down. And I said, you should probably go to a different planet. Which that's really realistically the only way to do that. That's the only way.
What?
Because kilograms is a measurement of mass, not weight.
Right.
So you'd have to go to like Pluto or something. I don't know.
But Scott, what's heavier? A kilogram of iron or a kilogram of feathers?
Oh, it's the feathers. Easy. You gotta live with what you did to those poor birds.
Every fucking time, bro. Every time it makes me sad just a little bit inside.
But then you got the one video. But it's a kilogram of steel. But the steel is heavier than feathers.
But steel is heavier than feathers. Dude, they're both the same weight. But steel is heavier than feathers. God, good old YouTube. Guys, I know time is money. I appreciate that you spent yours with us this evening. I know it's a little bit of an early cutoff, but I've got a guest in from town, so I'm kind of feeling the pain of hosting and visiting already. But I wasn't going to miss podcast, and I won't miss it next week either. Next week, I'll be even better prepared as well. Of course, you can find me over on X at JLockTV. You can find the Coney Corner on Instagram and follow Sausage Daddy here, the Wiener Goddess, if you will. Yeah,
Glizzy guy.
the Glizzy Goddess. Can you just change your name to the Glizzy Goddess and just wear a wig?
No.
God, that'd be
The
funny
only
as shit.
the only wig I'm ever gonna wear is gonna be the Timothy wig.
Good enough.
So, and it's gonna be with the glasses, and I'm gonna be talking about the flat Earth.
Yeah. Oh no. And again, guys, I know time is money. I appreciate you spending yours with us. We're gonna head off for the night. We'll see you guys next week. I'll have this video posted hopefully tomorrow after I get done formulating a thumbnail of sorts. Yeah. Thank you guys again. We'll see you next time.